So I started off and bought Thrustmaster T300 steering wheel, base unit and steering wheel, and sold the steering wheel for that because I wanted this one, Sparco one, because I bought the seat that was Sparco, and a lot of things were Sparco. I just wanted it to be the same, but I bought this because I wanted to build a sim rig. Not that I was an avid gamer or anything, but I just wanted to do the woodwork and side of it and see what I could accomplish. Yeah, I'm just filming it today because I just want to sort of put on YouTube what I've managed to do. I've spent so much time building this rig. It's taken over so much, and I'm decided that I'm not going to carry on with it, for many sort of reasons, I just wanted to share with people, and yeah, so I haven't planned this video out or anything like that. Don't normally do this at all, and I'm just going to take you through what I've done, and hopefully you can you'll be interested or not, I don't know. but yeah, I'll take you through it. It might be a long video, I don't know. So as I say, these are the things I bought. I forgot to get the box for the pedals. There's also a set of pedals which are actually shown here as well. They don't come with this, they come separately. All of it hasn't been used, it's been plugged in to make sure it obviously works, but it hasn't been used. You know, all my time's been spent sort of building it, so it's basically brand new. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll show you, what shall I show you first? So I'll take these out of the way, actually. Yeah, and right, so I'll show you the rig itself overall, from the front. So that piece of wood along here is just a temporary piece holding the sides on because they're not screwed in, due to how I was building it and what I needed to do, in what sort of order I needed to do it. So as you can see, it's got a, actually I'll take you around. So the side panels here. So there's a couple of different side panels, aluminium, and they stand off and gives it sort of depth. It's to sort of look like a car door, and this part here is the arc of the wheel, which I was going to do a little piece of the wheel here, and then cover that with 1mm plate. But I'll talk about that more in a minute. So there's a seat, there's a Sparco seat and the Sparco risers. Obviously brand new, not used or anything like that. Normally has a cover on it. There's the steering wheel, as I mentioned. There's the cockpit or dashboard, with all the buttons that are going to be used. I'll take you more of a detailed look in a minute. Pop it off of there. That's just a piece of what needed to be done. That's the top. As I say, it's on runners here. There's these pedals, and they're on a pedal unit. I'm going to leave a link below to a site where I'm going to upload all the videos, not all the videos, sorry, all of the pictures of the build, because I took a lot of pictures, and it will give you a sense of what was involved in this, if anyone's interested. Yeah, so this, anyway, I'm going to go through each bit in a bit more in a short while. Yeah, these are the struts that I made. I'll give you full details of that as well. And this is the spoiler that I made. And I also made these as well, of aluminium. So it's got a carbon fibre wrap on there. But yeah, so quite a bit of detail there. A lot of routing out and all sorts. Right, yeah, and here's some extra components, extra sides. So all of what you just saw on the side of the rig, I've done I think about 3 or 4 lots, so it's a huge amount of work that needed routing. I'm going to pop this over there and talk you through these sides. So these sides here, so it's aluminium, 3mm, I think it's 3mm thick aluminium. So I bought it by the sheet, something like 2B4, something like that, I can't remember. And done a template here of exactly the same as this. Templates for the whole thing, I've got so much. Yeah, so I've done this to all of these here. There's a few more like this, obviously, like I mentioned, and there's a 1mm sheet as well. And the 1mm sheet was to go over this to cover up obviously the holes and to give it a nice clean finish. And that would have been attached by some sort of contact adhesive. And then I would have probably got it wrapped in a colour, whatever colour I wanted, or sprayed. And then that will be hard wearing and nice quality, bit of high quality manufacturing process. So yeah, and once those were on there, it would have been routed round the edge there to put a nice rounded corner on it, so that it would be nice to the touch. So these would be interchangeable sides, so that you could have a different colour if you wished, you know, a different design and stuff like that. In the picture gallery that I'll put the link, that I talked about the link, that will show a picture of what the final design roughly looks like, so you get an idea if you do look in there. Yeah, and this is the bottom one, obviously. Yeah, the bottom one, exactly the same process. Again, there's a whole wad there. Yeah, you've got loads of sides here and sides here as well. I think not as many sides. I think I was due to get some more aluminium, so I haven't got any because things stopped due to various reasons. So in order to get the same amount, more aluminium will need to be bought, although I do have some under here as well, odds and sods, that can probably finish a job, sort of thing. Anyway, so that's that. So I'm going to show you the rear. Again, a lot of these things have I've got pictures of how I wanted it to go, so they'll be on the gallery as well. I'm just going to put the phone down. So this is the rear. So that would be attached to the rear here. Okay, these two holes are for wires that stretch all the way through the rig and connect up electronics and stuff like that. And the wires coming out here would be speaker wires and also LED wires as well. And they would be for, I'll take this off. So they would come out of these holes here. It's all routed out for the right sort of method, but the LEDs would be taped along here or stuck along here in some sort of method, and they would shine through these lights here. And when, hopefully, what was the purpose of it was when you put your foot on the brake, the wire, the contacts, it would be like one of those sort of, I don't know what they're called now, but where they get close to each other, where they meet, then they will create a contact, and then it would then create the circuit, and then these lights would light up. These are individual pieces of acrylic cut down, routed very dangerously, really, because they're so small. But I had to do a template for everything. Everything you see here, basically, I had to do templates for everything. And I smoothed down, it sanded down to very fine sandpaper. And then the light would shine through there. And there's a blank one there. That would be supposed indicator or something like that. But I thought I'd give it that dusty look, you know, like you see on cars of an indicator. Yeah, and so yeah, that was my sort of design. I was going off of these things here. It's supposed to be like vents at the back of a wheel. If you look at the Ferrari, I can't remember what it is now, 456 is it? I'm not too sure. But at the back of the wheels there, that's where an air vent comes out. These are supposed to be give a look of diffuser, perspex, purposely shaped, melted and bent around there. Actual real carbon fibre piece here, so that's routed down to whatever it is, 0.8 mil. The wood there, and this is the real carbon fibre. There you go. So that slots back in there like that, and that should be stuck down. This is the mesh, just to give a bit of depth there. I've done a little bit of depth, and a little bit of it's supposed to be like a heat grill sort of thing. You see on backy cars, for example, the F1, McLaren F1, grill on the back, or what is it, P1. Yes, a little bit of thing there. I'll just go and get the exhaust, what they're supposed to be like. They're in primer at the moment, but I can find the other one. Oh, there it is. Right. Right, okay. So again, that's all that. So that would be connected on. So first of all, that bit there would be screwed on to the back of there. This would then be able to, where you got screw points here and here, which go in here and here. They would be able to, you'd be able to take this off to do some maintenance if you need to, sort of thing, but that'd be permanently on there. Yeah, and these brackets, Protex brackets, quality brackets here, and that for pulling the rig out. But I'll show you what that purpose is for in a second. Second or more. Okay, so there's the other one that, you know, that's all shaped. It's got to be fixed. So then there's this piece here. This piece is just a template for the metal, because there should be a metal encasing here. And then this piece would be for I was going to make a little like on the F1 cars at the rear, there's a rain light, and with a few little dotted spaces. I was going to make that out of acrylic and things like that. But this is a piece I made out of wood, and it's got if you can see there, it's got the wrap on there. That's it. I've got the wrap of the carbon fibre. So yeah, so that would go into the aluminium as opposed to this wood here. So it's not this thick. It would be the 3mm plus the 1mm on there, but it hasn't been made. So that would sit over here like that, and the rest of it, all this would be covered up, obviously. But yeah, so that would, let's just pretend that is the metal, and then these are the so aluminium piping that I got, and then rounded off the edge here. It's just straight, rounded off the edge, and these slot in. Like that. To give it the exhaust, so protrude obviously with the 3mm. With the 3mm stuff there, protrude a lot more. And then I got some. Also, I got some of this. Which is titanium. I was going to burn and colour the ends, and this slots nicely into there, and also into there as well, and that'd be cut down, made shorter, just to give it a titanium look inside. Yeah, so that's all of that. That's the kind of look it will give. Yeah, and then the for the, I mentioned about the, what was it, the audio. The audio would the audio would come back out the back and link up and go along with the LED lights as well. Would go up the inside these and come out of these holes here. They need to be drilled in this wood, but I made the holes in the brackets there for the audio to come up here. For a bit confusing, but I was going to put speakers, make brackets up and put speakers on there. It's the same for that side as well. And yeah, and the LEDs would, there's some plastic which is floating about, which is Perspex here. So these are shaped. It's got the drillings through as well, and these sit in there. They're shaped so that when the LEDs are on, they will light up. Obviously the outside there will be flush with that, and it will light up then. And the same with that one as well, so when you're looking at the rear, it will just shine up the same colour as I'll link it to I would have linked it to the display and on the dashboard, and when you sort of play a different colour, then it will light out a different colour. So separate circuit to the lights here. Yeah, all right, okay, thanks for bearing with me, and yeah, I'll be glad if anyone's watching. All right. Okay, so what else, what can I take you through? So as I say, this is the rear of it. I made this plate here, aluminium plate. I think it's 6mm aluminium, but this is all made from one piece of plate. 10 plates used, everything like that, taking the weight out as much as I can. This thing is a heavy thing because of all the wood. The decent wood is made out of birch wood. Majority's birch wood for the property, so it doesn't bend. You know, it's really good properties there. And what else? I've used some oak in there as well. I'll show you where I've made that in a second, or well, as we go forward. But these are plywood here. I would have painted. I tried wrapping these, but to get around the corners it's too hard. So these would be sprayed or painted. Sprayed probably. Right, the spoiler. Again, just going through this. As I say, I'm going to explain some things, but for reference, you'll need to sort of go on the link. So this is all made out of. I'll press the off button there. Okay, this is all made out of plywood, and there's individual strips of, whether you can see across there, but each one of these is individual pieces like this of wood strips along here, and they're all put together with a bar running through them, and so they're all pushed on together, glued, sanded, sprayed, primed, and yeah, with this carbon fibre wrap on it as well. End plates aluminium brackets. So I didn't want to, unfortunately, which really annoyed me, is that these they got chipped a little bit here, but it's so hard to keep it in, you know, keep it as I want it. But it's been stored very well. So what I wanted to do is have because they do like an over wing and under wing on sports cars. So I wanted to do the over wing, so I created these brackets, these things here as well. And what you can do, car enthusiasts will know that wings, say like you can adjust the spoilers basically, and you can take out these and adjust the spoiler so it goes up like that, and then put in the screw where you want it, and that just gives adjustment. And what it does on real cars is obviously affects the ground performance, because the winds, you know, it's hitting more of the wing and brings it low to the ground. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, I think I've explained these bits here. They're struts that I wanted to, yeah, I could best, that's the best design I could make out of it, because I wanted to put a spoiler on there just to prove to myself what I could build and what I was capable of. And there's some, there's some bottom brackets as well that I made that are in primer. So what these brackets would do, these brackets that are connected to the spoiler would come off. Also these would come off, but these bottom ones would then be connected to underneath here. As you can see, there's some inserts there. So those brackets would go under here, and these brackets would go on in place of these brackets, and they would go like that, and then the spoiler would then be further up here and closer to the back of the seat. So there's there's those, and they got a thread in there also. You won't be able to see that, but there's a thread in there. Right, so so with this, well, what's going on now? Is that right? Yeah. Right. So obviously I've got some seat risers here, And these seat risers are connected to the plate. Can you see? Yeah, the plate which is there, and then it's connected to the seat runners. So the whole thing moves together. Yeah, so once that's lifted up, it's hard to do. You need to be sitting on the rig to go back and forward. But this whole thing, this whole seat goes back. I'm going to change positions a minute because or not positions, but focus, aspect ratio. Bear with me. Right, there we go. Right, so also what else? So it's a 3-part unit. It's just the rear. There's a middle section, as you can see. Got some, I forget where I got these from. What are they called? Serco or something like that. But these brackets, so what these do is clip on to here, these little brackets here, and fasten the whole thing down. So that's fully connected. So if you are quite aggressive on the accelerator or anything like that, then it's not going to push apart. It shouldn't do anyway, but I've over-engineered this thing. So that's all the brackets, and they just unclip like that. I just keep them on clips so there's no strain or anything like that on the brackets. There's the pedals, as I say, and the pedals have got adjustment as well. Not only adjustment there in the runner, come forward now, clicking backwards, but also the thing it's sitting on here. So this is the only this is the part of the plastic, but then the thing it's sitting on is something that I've built, and you'll need to actually look in the photos to see how that was built and what it does. But it adjusts so the pedals can go at different heights depending what mode you want it in. And they call it GT mode or racing mode or something. Yeah, and inside, I think I can do a light on this. I wonder if I can put a light on it. Right, I figured that out. So I've got a light on there now. So there's the wires that connect to. I've got a wire coming down here. It's just loose at the moment. That's just from the steering wheel. This one here is from the pedals. Yeah, so it's got lining, like car lining, all inside here, all up inside there as well. These have got to be screwed in. They're already screwed, but they're loose at the moment due to how I've been moving it around and things like that. Yeah, so bring that back to where it was. That's it. But yeah, you see down there's the adjusters. Just zoom in. There's some adjusters there. You'll take the top one out and then screw the second one in, or screw the third one in, or fourth one in, depending on how low you want it. Yeah, there's all that. So, but yeah, so there's the free. So what you do, you would push that back, not this, but the actual bottom base. Pull it back by these. Pull the whole unit back. Once these are released, take out the middle section and then push it to meet up when you're not using it. That makes the whole footprint of it smaller. That's the whole point of it. Yeah, that's that. So the side, let's have a look at the side here. I'm just going to shut that door because that is banging around. So yeah, that's the side of it, as I say. So if you look at the P1 GTR, like the side door, that's where I've got some inspiration from. So as I say, the wheel would be like a 19-inch, very technical, 19-inch alloy type wheel with including the tyre, and that's what would come down here. So that creates a curve, but you'll notice on the P1, I think it is, there's an insert there and there's carbon fibre, and that's what I wanted to do to this as well. So I would have used a 1mm carbon fibre sheet, laid that inside there, gave it definition, while these outer panels obviously give it the look of the door. It loses its sense from here, sort of onwards. It loses its sense of the P1, but obviously that's due to my design, because I like the look of P1. It's really nice. So yeah, and then I gave, also there's an insert here as well. I was going to do that as well, with carbon fibre insert there as well, just to give you some understanding, this definition, you know, how deep it is. And there's a cutaway here that is for edging, furniture trim, you know, like the stuff you get on arcades and stuff like that, around the edges. We've got a whole load of that, which would finish that off. And inside here there would be LEDs. I'll show you from the other side actually, but there'll be LEDs, and in here that shine down. So when it's all linked up, like I mentioned with the rear spoiler struts, the light would shine through there, and it would shine down here and shine down this bit here, as well as some other bits what I'll show you. But to enable that to work, this is the piece without any metal on. I had to create some channels. So this is from inside this bit here where a lot of things would be housed. A lot of the electronic, wires would come down here, come upside down, stick along here, come down here, twist, go underneath, and stick all the way along here, and then that trim will go all the way down here, just to give it a nice finish, all the way down here, and round again, round down here. Yeah, so there's that, and also the same would be in there with the trim as well. Yeah. Okay. Well, so that's part of the dash as well. How can I explain that? I'll give you more detail in a minute. So I'll open the bonnet up now. These are some catches, bonnet catches. So when they're down, pushed down properly, then the bonnet can't open up. Yeah, just got to be careful because there's a loose part on here. That you push them down and release them, and then the bonnet can open up. And that's them underneath, but there's more to them parts which have to be connected. Just get a piece of wood so I can lift this up. There we go. So yeah, in here, underneath here, there's some wire clip connectors, and I've got some, not wire, tubing, flexible tubing, conduit or something like that goes all the way through here, that would take a lot of the wires, a lot of the mains lead, LED lead, things like that, things that are needed for what I've designed. Take it all the way down here through this point here, so the same on both sides. Yeah, so take it down there, down this hole here, through here, down here, down through here, down through here, and then that will go to where necessary. But looking through there, you'll see, if I zoom in, 2 holes at the bottom there. No, actually the one in the middle, that is connecting, that's the hole that takes it all the way through to the back. yeah, all the way through to the back where I said where you pull the handles and all the electric, you know, the wires come out and stuff. So yeah, so a lot of the wires would be connected through that way. And there's another one there. Yeah, so where are we now? Right, so this is the front. So again, two sides. It's a tambour door. So there's tambour doors installed. I had to make a again, more pictures in that link, how I made it. But all this is a surround, separate surround, which I had to make to house all of this. This opens up, and like I mentioned, all them wires, they would carry the LED and stuff like that. And one of them, the mains wire, which would go down there and up into here, and then this is really to house the mains wire. So you can, so the mains wire would get wrapped around here and stored. And when you want to use it, so you open this up, take this out, unravel it, and plug it into the mains. And this other bit here is for housing the, I think, the pedal wire, like I showed you on before. There's a pedal wire, and also another sort of wire from the steering wheel as well. Yeah, because that steering wheel, which I showed you, it's not, sorry, the pedals, that wire would come through this slot here, so it opens up and then it can get stored. Yeah. Yeah, so that's that part now. So I made it all, you know, carbon fibre again, carbon fibre wrap. This is, I use carbon fibre wrap and real carbon fibre in places. So this here, initially I made these, well, I have made these out of, these are surrounds. Oh, that's the screws. Made these out of Perspex, but as the rig was progressing, you know, you think more and more about quality, and I thought, well, I could make these out of real carbon fibre. So that's why, yeah. So that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't get around to it. But this is real Alcantara, which I put in there, contact adhesive. It was really hard to get this stretched and bend around these curves. There's nice curves there. This is a sheet of Perspex that I've left the cover on. This is, I think it's black, but I've left the, you know, the protective layer on because I didn't want to scratch it up until it was completely sort of ready to use. Same here. In terms of the Perspex, so I wanted to do carbon fibre again with this here. And there's little screws for these all and everything like that. So this is a box that would store, so it's got Alcantara in here. That would store like a PS5 controller or PS4 controller, and also there's a little controller for the LEDs as well, which can go in there. Anything you want can sort of fit in there, but this is removable actually. This comes out, and all you got to do is sort of put two hands, one there, and then grip it and pull it. But there's another way you can push your hand up from underneath by the pedals. Yeah, so that's that. And this one here I thought would house gloves, racing gloves and things like that, because it's just deep enough. There's a bit of depth there anyway, but this has got some depth to it to house some gloves in. I thought that'd be pretty nice. Yeah, and there's all sorts I was going to do. I was going to sort of put some what was it? Gas struts. I was going to put gas struts on this as well. So when you opened it up, it would go and then open up by itself, you know, so you lift it to a certain level and then it will continue opening up. I forget what else. I think that was going to be operated electronically via the dashboard somehow. So that's that part of it. Oh, back in. So then that goes down. So again, so this here would have a piece of 3mm aluminium over it with the, well, possibly 3mm aluminium. That's what I was thinking. I have to sort out the heights and the depth of these and everything. Everything's been calculated to, you know, to house the right thing. So this would be 3mm plus the 1mm. These the reason why they're loose is because they would go on top of the aluminium and then drilled down and secured underneath. This front edge, that would have, I can't remember what it would have now. I think it was, yeah, it's going to be screwed sort of carbon fibre on the front there. And there's a big depth here, big gap here, not depth, because it was going to have like perspex that side, perspex this side, and then it will leave a very small gap in between. Perspex or carbon fibre, one of the two. Yeah, so I've got this piece on here at the moment because the sides aren't screwed. So the bonnet, yeah, I have the separate bonnet piece, and the bonnet piece would have come over here. So it would have been a piece of, let's say it's the aluminium. It come across here, go to here, go all the way across. So it would overlap this gap here, and to here as well. And so when it opens and closes, it's got a nice firm, nice covering. And then you'll have the side parts, down there, surround like that, all the way down here, screwed in. Right, yeah, so getting to this, this here. Right, if I take off, oh wait, yeah, I might, yeah, I'll just explain this first. So, so the steering wheel comes off. It hasn't been, well, what happens is that, I'll just undo that. Hang on, I'll just put this down. So, yeah, turn the phone off again. So, yeah. So, you know, so this here gets connected by a screw. You screw that in and then it tightens in there, but that hasn't been tightened up fully and pierced any plastic or anything like that. It's just been, you know, done up to there. So the reason why I'm telling you all this information, because I'm half sort of selling it at the moment, well, trying to sell it as well, so that's why I'm being overkill. Right, hang on. So there's a wheel off. There's the front. So all of this, the pictures are on in a link, how it's made. These buttons would have been for the game as well, buttons for the game as well. A few more buttons like this. I forget what they're called now. I really forget what they're called. Oh, it's been some time. But real carbon fibre here, 3mm carbon fibre. Again, 3mm carbon fibre here. These buttons specifically bought for this rig, as well as these, bonnet one and the bonnet light. As I was just talking about the bonnet, you know, and the struts, this would have possibly lifted the bonnet up in some sort of way. Or this one, sorry, there's a bonnet one there. Engine stop start button. So that's yeah, that's a momentary one, and that would have been connected up to the game. This would have been connected up to the wheel, so you push it in, and then this wheel would have started up, you know, jiggered, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, these buttons are made out of a single button surround, single piece of aluminium. That's another single piece of aluminium sprayed. Yeah, again, this is all made out of a single piece of aluminium. There's some machine screws to go in here as well. This is all for effect. Yeah, what the look I was going for, if you look at the Porsche like GT, I think it's the Porsche GT, you know, like 2022, 2021, 2023. If you look at the steering wheel, you'll see there's some metal, there's some machined metal work on there with screws. That's the look I was going for. Very complicated look, but again, just you'll see how it was made. So yeah, all of it comes apart. These are some thumb turn screws. There's one that goes there as well. Yeah, so these unscrew and come off. I'll just show you this actually. So I'll just put the phone down, I'll stop it and I'll start it again. So I've undone those screws now. This can come out. Okay, I'll pop this over here. So yeah, a lot of work's gone into this here, getting the right profile, using the leather, not leather, but you know, the car interior leather, folding this around, bending it around, sticking it with contact cement, and all these layers as well, getting the right height for this here. So that's attached by 2 screws under here, 2 bolts. There's all screws that connect to every other piece of wood. Yeah, and as you can see, actually I'll lift this out because this comes out, it's all connected there. But this would have had some sort of clip that holds it tight in, so it couldn't come out. So you just undo the clip and then this will come out. So this all comes off. I'll put it over here. Right, just had a bit of mix up with the camera again. Okay, so what I was saying is that the LED lights would come through here. And shine outwards, so they would shine outwards and onto this piece of perspex here, so through this side, and as I say, they would fit round the side here. Okay, so when that is the other way up, this is angled as such an angle that it lights up. Yeah, it'll light up different colours, whatever colour you want. So that'll be like that as well. And then there's a floating top. Sorry, I'm struggling here. Struggling to think what I do. So there's a floating top on here as well. That's what you would have seen at the start, I think, which is this piece here. So it's got a bit of perspex on it, so light would shine out of that bit of perspex. I believe it was that way up, yeah. So it hovers a little bit on there, and the light that shines would hit the outside of here. So it'd be a bit of a I forget what they call it, but hazy sort of light, that would sit around there. And that's caused by, there's a little thing I made that fits inside here. LED light come up here, gets twisted around this piece, and it shines the piece underneath, which I told you about, and there was going to be another piece on here which was going to offer another bit of design with the light on it as well. But that would have been covered, or is going to be covered, or is due to be covered. Actually, it's that way up, sorry. It's that way up, but that's underneath. I've just connected it on there. Yeah, that's going to be covered in this other type of material, similar to this but perforated. Yeah, just going back over here. This partly for design, partly for heat, you know, because you get a lot of heat coming from here. There'll be a build up of heat, electronics, so heat will be able to escape here. But also in the pictures of the design, you see that there's like a floating piece here. This is a template piece, a few marks in it, but I have to sort out that. And that would sit out here a little bit, so stand off a little bit here, like that, so heat would escape, and I think, yeah, and the light from the LEDs would show up there as well, so it's a nice little floating piece. That's what that bit's for. This bit down here is it's hard to explain really, but yeah, I'll get that now. So I've got some sides. These are sides for the rear. So again, I've got like a metal insert here. It would have a 1mm, just I'll explain it a bit better. So at the moment, so I've routed all the way at the back there and trimmed this all down so the thickness isn't as thick, so it can accommodate some I think it's some sort of plastic, black plastic, on the back there, so it's a much more neater finish. It looks prettier from the inside. But also I've done an insert here of 3mm. Can't do it with one hand, but actually I might be able to. So as you can see, I've done an insert so that can be housed in there. That gets screwed on to the sides. I should show you what I mean. So that would be in there like that. Okay, and the back, leaving a gap there for another piece of wood like this, but like a square bit, just butting up the two pieces. So this would sit in there. 1mm piece would cover that and come right to the edge. Yeah, and the centre pieces I've put down somewhere, but I don't know where they are. But they're basically square bits that go in here, and they will have printed on there a name or something, like start or go. And then when that middle section's taken out, along with that start or go printed on there, this back section, which has this on it and the other piece, would have some vinyl lettering saying pit stop, you know, in that lettering, so that when this is closed up it will say pit on there. Yeah, so I think that's all I can show you of that. I don't know what else to say really. Yeah, oh yeah, that's what I was going to show. I was going to show you sort of inside here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll show you that. So I'm just going to turn the camera off and then I'll get sorted. So the middle section, I've pulled the back apart, and yeah, that's the there's a seat riser, there's nothing under there. It's got carpet, I think it's 10mm, I forget what the carpet is now, but it's high quality carpet, car carpet, you know, thick stuff, not like a carpet, car carpet side or van carpet or anything like that. This is like side van car carpet, but this is quality. I forget where I got it from. Such a long time ago now, a few years. Like Coleman's or something. No, I can't think. But yeah, it's a quality car carpet. Yeah, and so this comes apart. This lifts up. I'll just lift it out. Yeah, so there it is. That's the this is carbon fibre wrap. So these are two things that sit like that. They slide in all the way, slide out with that hole that I showed you earlier on. The hole goes all the way through here. But these have got holes pierced because there's inserts in here. Metal inserts, threaded inserts. And that's for this perspex. So the perspex goes over the top, non-scratch one side perspex. So this sits on top. It needs to be round. There needs to be a bevel. I think it's a bevel they call it. It needs to be beveled along here and along this side, so it can run along in there. Yeah, and then obviously flush screws to go in there as well. Okay, yeah, and that was so that what I could do is then put some vinyl writing on here and on here saying Flux Motorsport or something like that to give it a sporty edge, and then these perspex pieces could go on top, and every time it was pulled out it was not going to scratch the vinyl lettering off and anything like that. So it was all this rig was built really to like with overkill effort think about long life and durability. So yeah, okay, so that was the purpose of having that on top of there. I don't know whether there's anything else to show you along here, but yeah, again, you've got these pieces here and a piece in there as well, that's where all the edging trim should go as well, all the way down to the bottom. So yeah, I'll show you on here because it's no, it's not, it's made a different way, but I've got oak on here. So this is oak because I wanted consistency. I didn't think about plywood at the time in this stage, but this is as I say, the oak. Then it's got 6mm MDF. Then it's 25mm, I think it is, 25mm and 25mm MDF, and 6mm again down here. And this there's a little hole here. This accommodates the metal from the middle piece. Same on the other side here. So that if it's on let's just say carpet, if you stepped onto the middle, then the metal bracket would be taken, would be giving it support, as opposed to having no support here and then having a bit of support there, no support this end, and then putting all support on this bit here. So a bit overkill, like all the things, but anyway, that's the way I designed it, and I thought that was good. But I'll show you the middle section. Middle section's here. Again, I'll turn it upside down on its edge. So yeah, that's the way it's constructed. So so you've got the different plywoods there. Well, not different plywoods, but you've got the different woods, the oak, MDF on top. Okay, that's the edging trim with the lip on as well. That's what the main centre piece, which is here, would be using. But then on the outer one, it wouldn't have that edge, that lip on, because this one here is purely to cover up the carpet and things like that. Okay, and then this is the metal bar going across that are fixed in place. Yeah, and that's the centre. I had to take some out. I think the table saw for height wise, as you can see there. Okay, that's that. Right, and as I say, all this can be closed up. Actually, I think I might. Yeah, I won't do that now because it's quite a bit of hassle. Right, I'll pop that back on. Yeah, just pop that all together, and then I'll be back. So just coming back to this. This is the back of the display. There's all the button connectors, and I've got the leads that go on the back of here as well. All come with it. These are some metal brackets that I had to make up for the back, and these are some threaded holes I made. Threaded hole here and here. Threaded hole for these as well. And what that does is enables me to put these, so I've made little holes in here, like here and elsewhere. That enables me to then put the screws in here and tighten them up and take them off if needs be. So if this was on there and I didn't want to take it all apart, I could just take this off here, play about with the connection and what have you. But mainly, obviously, you can take that off and the whole thing will come off. That's probably a quicker way. But mainly because if you look at GT cars, that's what they all look like. It's done for the way it looked, basically. And the same with this side as well. So this design was supposed to have, I'd done a bit of perspex that wrapped around the inside here. It's supposed to have a floating bit of carbon fibre in here, or metal, but it got very, very small and intricate. And what I thought I could do by having, I'll show you the pieces that I made for it. So this is a piece of perspex that I made, of a, I don't know, 10 mil piece, I think. So the LEDs were supposed to come through here, the LED strip, and go facing outwards and downwards and sideways. They're supposed to go along here and along here to shine outwards like that. And then this that I made here would then sit over like that, and then go in here like that. So there still be a slight opening along here, and there I was hoping that light would shine out of there, and that would be connected using fixings on the back and glued and etc. But yeah, so that's the stage that I got to. Yeah, so that's that. So yeah, I don't quite know what else to say. I think that's covered everything on the sort of design aspect and what went into it. A lot of hard work, and yeah, a lot of design, and it's quite disappointing that I've decided not to carry on with it. But yeah, sort of reasons why I didn't. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and like I say, it's my first real time speaking not in front of a camera, but behind the camera. So I'm not used to uploading videos or anything like that. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and enjoyed to see some comments and things like that. Yeah, thanks very much.